Welcome to Chapter 15, Cross-Examination. This video will explore the techniques and strategies essential for controlling a witness's testimony in the courtroom. Cross-examination is the art of control. Our core strategy is the rule of three. Use only leading questions, focus on one fact per question, and ensure every question advances your case narrative. The goal is to control the witness and damage their credibility by extracting concessions and limiting explanations. Our learning objectives are focused on mastering the cross. We will learn to use leading questions, identify inconsistencies, and understand the differing approaches of DHS and Respondents' Counsel. Ultimately, you will move beyond theory to professional-grade legal advocacy. Here are the key terms we will cover. These include cross-examination, leading questions, impeachment, inconsistency, prior statement, bias, scope of direct, and control of the witness. Understanding these is crucial for success. The primary goal of cross-examination is testing the narrative, challenging credibility, exposing inconsistencies, and limiting exaggeration. In immigration court, cross-examination is the deciding factor, as testimony is often the primary evidence and credibility is the central anchor for asylum cases. Section 2 focuses on leading questions, which suggest the answer. Contain the fact you want the witness to confirm and allow the attorney to control the narrative. Examples like, "You never reported the threats to the police, correct?" prevent long, uncontrolled explanations. The structure of cross-examination relies on controlled questions, each containing one fact, arranged in a logical sequence. Crucially, avoid open-ended questions like why or explain. You must use prior statements to maintain dominance over the courtroom story. Impeachment means challenging a witness's credibility by dismantling the reliability of their narrative. Techniques focus on inconsistencies, omissions, implausibility, and bias or motive. The DHS cross-examination strategy typically focuses on inconsistencies, lack of corroboration, implausible details, criminal history, fraud indicators, and motive to fabricate. The strategic goal is to undermine eligibility for relief by challenging the claim's fundamental reliability. Respondents' Counsel cross-examines DHS witnesses, government experts, police officers, and fraud investigators. Primary goals include showing bias, highlighting errors, undermining reliability, and exposing incomplete investigations. Effective cross-examination can neutralize harmful DHS evidence. Effective cross-examination requires a calm, controlled tone and unwavering confidence, along with precision and respect. The judge evaluates professionalism, as well as the substance of the legal narrative. Objections are formal protests to restrict evidence and ensure a fair trial. Mastery of the Big Five procedural objections, irrelevant, hearsay, speculation, leading, and foundation, is essential for controlling the evidentiary record. Beyond the Big Five, these secondary five objections police the testimony for trial integrity. They include argumentative, asked and answered, compound, beyond scope, and non-responsive. Remember, objections must be timely. Here are some discussion questions for the week. Consider why leading questions are essential and how inconsistencies impact credibility. Think about why open-ended questions are avoided and how cross-examination supports your case theory. Finally, review these assessment questions. What is the purpose of cross-examination? What is impeachment? What is an inconsistency? And why is tone important during cross-examination? Answering these will confirm your mastery of the chapter's content. We begin our simulation with Carlos Jimenez, a 27-year-old primary subject for cross-examination. His asylum claim is based on the fear of gang persecution. The key conflict is the divergence between his initial border interview and his current testimony, which we aim to probe using formal cross-examination techniques. This is Practice Case 15, a cross-examination simulation. The objective is to test Mr. Jimenez's credibility against documented inconsistencies and his initial border statements. Our primary focus is analyzing the gap between the applicant's current narrative and the evidentiary record. Mr. Jimenez, age 24, is from Honduras. His core claim is that refusal of gang recruitment led to targeted violence, forcing him to flee. The timeline notes he crossed into Eagle Pass in June 2023. His narrative states he was physically beaten and issued a final warning by gang members. We identify high-risk credibility issues. First, impeachment. Due to a prior inconsistent statement where he initially cited work as the purpose of entry, not fear of persecution. Second, material omissions, as the asylum application failed to mention the alleged physical beating. Further issues include a corroboration deficit, lacking medical records for physical battery claims, and temporal fragility, with inconsistent records regarding the frequency and dates of the gang threats. The witness array includes defense witnesses, such as his employer and priest, testifying to his character. The government's expert witnesses, Dr. Mutual and Dr. Smythe, will provide contextual analysis on gang patterns and political science perspectives on migration. The defense theory centers on vulnerability and trauma, arguing his initial statement was due to confusion from his traumatic flight. The government's competing theory is economic migration and fabrication, asserting he created a persecution claim for asylum, highlighted by his inconsistencies.